the Virgo Queen, here to awaken the divine consciousness. I'm a spiritual consultant and transformation coach using the tools of astrology, tarot, sound healing, and ritual, connecting my clients back to their natural magic and cosmic selves. And as you know, I usually do a weekly, daily video, and now I'm doing a monthly video. So this one is for the collective consciousness for October 1st to October 31st. Now this 3-card reading, I first look at the first card, which is the Star card. Now the Star is a major arcana, so that means the overall energy for October is a healing one. And since it's slightly tilted to the right, we may be forcing the healing to happen. We may be doing too much, if I can say so, of being in the other world without actually doing the real work and real practice of spirituality. And so this healing card is really advising us to allow the feminine energy to come in and move us. And allow our time, space in order to receive that healing instead of forcing it when we think needs to happen. Allow sacred space. And also spontaneous healings. You never know what a stranger's smile will heal your wounded heart while walking down the street. Be open for miracles and be awake to all that is around you. The conflict for this month is 3 of discs. So 3 is about good energy. It's moving, it's flowing, it's fluid. And discs is work. And this card is usually saying upright. It means that you get paid well for the good work that you do. But it's in the conflict position. So what we're striving for in the conflict is trying to get paid for the valuable work that you are. And this really takes time. This takes your confidence. This takes faith. This takes changing the perspective of how people value your work. So first you need to begin with, how do you value your service? And go from there. Because the more you value what you do, because you know that it has enriched your life, simply sharing that gift to others, that is a value, that is an energy exchange. And the more that you believe in what you do and what you're selling or what you're giving or what you're offering, the more valuable it's going to be to others because you feel that it's almost invaluable. So also with partnerships and relationships, I'm talking business relationships, but also in romantic, you need to stand up for what you know to be true. Trusting that you have this long line of experience, and even if you don't, you have been here long enough to experience things, and that you can learn and you can develop these tools and just keep trusting that the work that you do is valuable in the world. And then start surrounding yourself with people that value your work, and then they have their network that will then value your work. So it's really about creating an abundant space where the energy is flowing and active. Because when we put ourselves in business situations or we sign up for projects that we don't believe in, of course we're not going to feel as if we're getting paid enough. Because almost you couldn't pay me enough to do that project. And so you really just got to connect with what you value and then move on from there. The outcome for October. So on October 31st, we have reverse judgment. Judgment is another major arcana. So we're doing some soul work in October, which is how fitting, because October is when the veil is the thinnest between the worlds and we're able to really commune with our spirit guides and angels, our higher selves, and nature elements. I could go on. There is a whole world just beyond the doorway, and if we only open it, do we see that we're all connected and all listening. And so reverse judgment is showing that we need to let go of judgment. So upright, this judgment card shows that we are completely connected to our higher self, that we don't have any judgment in the world, that we are getting closer to accepting ourselves and ultimately becoming whole. This is one of the last steps before the last major arcana, which is the world, where we experience our whole selves. So first we need to face the things that we don't like about ourselves, or that we don't like about others, which is in turn truly about something about us. Again, every hero's journey begins with the self. So any judgments you have about others is a judgment unto yourself. It's not a literal terminology, it's the symbolic language between the judgment. For instance, perhaps you have a friend that you feel is self-sabotaging their next step in their life. And their next step is to go to rehab. But instead of showing up and doing the work, they get drunk the night before and don't go. So I'm not saying that you yourself are making those choices, but what they are doing is a self-sabotage. So what do you do that is sabotaging you from living your fullest life? Look at that, and then you can see this person as if that you know that they're trying, and that all they really need is a little bit more support and guidance, and a wake-up call to know that this isn't the life they really want. Of course no one wants that. But sometimes there's an addiction, or there's these other aspects that are overruling us, which is truly subconscious patterning. And so what subconscious patterning is sabotaging your life? So that's what I mean about really accepting those judgments in yourself and finding the healing within that. And take notice, if you're able to heal your own judgment, does that person change? There's so much work going on in the world, but more specifically in the spiritual community, of how we can reprogram ourselves, that we can literally let go of our history in our genetic coding. This is profound, because this means that we can truly remove these old memories that no longer serve us, and we can step into something completely different. So we have this vastness of cellular memory that we can reprogram to actually live the life that we want. Now, can you just stop for a moment and imagine what you would do with your day or your time or your relationship if you weren't judging others, if you weren't self-sabotaging, if you weren't negative thinking? What would you actually do? And start imagining that and see what the life becomes in front of you. Because that is truly the magician's way, the one that is able to lift the veil and to change the perspective and to fill its time with wonder and excitement and following the heart's desires. Wow, so it's a big month, and obviously we end on one of my favorite holidays, being one about magic and connecting to our deeper ancestors and spiritual guides, and just hackling at the moon and feeling alive and wonderful, because That is what we are. We are alive right now in this moment. So remember your magic and remember, how do you want to live every day? Have an amazing month, and if you'd like a one-on-one or personal reading, contact me at www.inner-doorways.com. Have a beautiful day.